We all crave it, don't we? That moment of finality, that neat bow tied on a painful experience, the sense of understanding and peace that allows us to truly move on. We call it closure. Perhaps you've sought it after a difficult breakup, a significant loss, or an unresolved conflict that just keeps playing in your mind. The idea of closure is a powerful one, deeply ingrained in our culture. It suggests a definitive end to ambiguity, a clear answer that brings resolution and allows us to release negative emotions. In psychology, it's defined as finding understanding and acceptance in an uncertain situation, which ideally leads to peace. But what if the very thing we're searching for, that perfect external closure, is largely a myth? What if true healing doesn't come from a final conversation, an apology, or an explanation from someone else, but from a journey we embark on within ourselves? Today, we're going to explore this common human desire, unpack what psychology actually tells us about closure, and most importantly, discover what we can do instead to genuinely move forward. The concept of seeking completeness isn't new. It actually has roots in early 20th century Gestalt psychology, which observed our mind's natural tendency to perceive incomplete experiences as whole. Think about seeing a broken circle. Your mind automatically tries to complete it. This natural inclination extends to our emotional lives too. We want to complete the narrative, fill in the blanks, and make sense of what happened. This tendency gave rise to the idea of the need for cognitive closure, or NFC. It describes our individual motivation to find clear, firm answers and avoid uncertainty. Some of us feel this need more intensely than others. We want to know why something happened, why someone did what they did, why things turned out the way they did. And often we look to external sources, the people involved, the circumstances, to provide those answers. This brings us to a crucial distinction: external versus internal closure. External closure is what we typically imagine: an ex-partner explaining their actions, a clear reason for a job loss, a resolution to a family dispute. Internal closure, on the other hand, is cultivated within ourselves through self-reflection and acceptance. The shift in thinking among mental health experts today is profound. They're increasingly advocating for internal healing over the elusive pursuit of external finality. So why is this discussion so prominent now? Because the traditional, often unrealistic, societal expectation of closure is being openly challenged. Experts like Pauline Boss, who coined the term ambiguous loss, highlight situations where clear resolution is simply impossible. Imagine a missing person or a loved one living with dementia who is physically present but psychologically absent. In these cases, traditional closure is inherently unattainable. This leads us to the biggest controversy, the myth of closure. Many experts now argue that the expectation of closure as a final, pain-erasing event is unrealistic and can actually impede healing. It's not a destination we arrive at, but rather a continuous, often non-linear journey. Think about seeking closure from an ex-partner. You might believe their explanation will bring you peace, but what if they don't provide satisfactory or honest answers? What if their words cause further pain or confusion? This pursuit can keep us stuck, reinforcing feelings of helplessness or even pulling us back into unhealthy cycles. We often empower others with the key to our peace, when that key should always reside within us. The obsessive pursuit of external closure can become a crutch. It can prevent us from doing the necessary internal work for healing and personal growth. It allows us to cling to past situations, waiting for an external signal that might never come, rather than engaging with our own emotional processing. Societal narratives often promote a neat, final closure, but the reality of emotional healing and grief is far messier and more complex.
If external closure is often a myth, what then can we do? The good news is there are powerful, practical strategies to cultivate genuine internal resolution and healing. These strategies empower you to reclaim your peace, independent of anyone else's actions or words. First, radical acceptance. This isn't about condoning what happened, but about acknowledging and accepting the reality of the situation, including the absence of desired answers or apologies. It means recognizing that you might never get the explanation you seek and choosing to make peace with that truth. This creates essential space for healing to begin. Next, focus on self-care and empowerment. Prioritize your personal needs, growth, and well-being. This includes physical health routines, engaging in hobbies that bring you joy, nurturing social connections, and seeking professional development. When you invest in yourself, you build resilience and a sense of agency that reduces reliance on external validation. Then, emotional processing. Allow yourself to fully experience and process all your emotions without suppression. Grief, anger, sadness, confusion, they all deserve to be felt. Techniques like journaling, expressive writing, or simply talking to a trusted friend or therapist can be incredibly helpful in navigating these complex feelings. This isn't about dwelling, it's about acknowledging and releasing. Now, let's reframe closure as wholeness. Instead of seeking an end to pain, redefine closure as an internal journey towards calm, clarity, and a sense of self-completeness. This is about becoming whole again, not by forgetting, but by integrating your experiences into your story without letting them define or diminish you. Crucially, establish boundaries. Especially with past partners or in situations of unresolved conflict, create clear limits. This prevents reopening wounds, getting pulled back into unhelpful dynamics, and facilitates your healing process. Sometimes a boundary means no contact at all. Consider creating personal rituals. These are symbolic actions that help you tangibly mark an end and symbolically release the past. This could be writing an unsent letter, donating mementos, visiting a meaningful place, or even a simple mindfulness practice. Rituals provide a sense of control and intention in processing difficult experiences. Develop tolerance for ambiguity. Life often doesn't offer neat answers. Learning to cope with unanswered questions and uncertainty without letting them dominate your present life is a powerful skill. It means accepting that some things will remain unknown and choosing to live well anyway. And finally, seek professional support if you need it. Therapy, particularly approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy or Gestalt therapy, can provide invaluable tools and a safe space to explore unresolved experiences and develop effective coping mechanisms. A trained professional can guide you through this complex journey. So, perhaps the journey isn't about finding closure in the traditional sense, but about cultivating internal resolution. It's about accepting what is, processing your emotions, and empowering yourself to move forward, not because someone else gave you permission, but because you chose it for yourself. This shift in perspective can be incredibly liberating. It means you hold the power over your own healing and peace. You don't need a final word from anyone else. You have everything you need within you to navigate uncertainty, embrace your experiences, and ultimately find your own path to wholeness.